And Bhikkhuni Avera has just taken a higher ordination this year in Sri Lanka. And at the age of 21, she was very inspired to walk the path, even just after completing her bachelor tech degree in IT engineering. And she was ordained as a seminary together with her sister in 2023 at Forest Monastery in northeastern India. And this year, she took her higher ordination in Sri Lanka. And her purpose of life is to fully, meaningfully, and harmlessly, without regrets, to serve for the welfare and happiness of herself and of others. And this year, for her first Vasa, she has stayed in the America and was guided by Acharini Ayatataloka at Aranya Bodhi Redwood Forest Hermitage, Dhamadarini in Northern California. And for her ordination, preceptor teacher is Venerable Kirima Vimalajoti Mahatero, and also the Dekan Duala Chief Bhikkhuni, Dhammasanti Mahateri. And she joyfully received this opportunity to serve the Bhikkhuni Sasana. So maybe now invite Venerable Avera, and we have, in the interest of time, so beside the video, we have 10 minutes for the presentation. Thank you.
Sadhu. Thank you so much, Venerable I.A. Sumangala, for this warm introduction and paying all my deep reverence and respect to Buddha, Dhamma, and fourfold Sangha present here, to all the venerable seniors here. Without taking much, I would like to share my screen and hope it's visible to all, connecting with first wishing everyone happy 15th International Bhikkhuni Day and bringing along the attention towards the pilgrimage landscape of Bhikkhuni Arhants of ancient India, trying to connect and bridge how important it is to have Bhikkhuni institution in propagation of Buddha Sasana. Connecting the pilgrimage sites with the map and connecting with the wandering territory of Bhikkhunis of the past, we can see the sublime range of wandering that Bhikkhunis used to prefer, were mostly among these areas of Sakhyas, Angas, Magadhas, Vajji, Kosala, and Kasi. Beginning first with the first and foremost Kapilavastu, where Lord Buddha was brought up by his loving foster mother, also the royal queen of Shakyans, Mahapajapati Gautami Theri. Therigatha records many of the first 500 women from Shakyan Republic who later took part in the Great Renunciation. Some of their names are mentioned here. Queen Mahapajapati Gautami renounced the royalty and started their Great Renunciation journey barefoot, walking from Kapilvastu to Vaisali with 500 others, finally receiving going forth and higher ordination from Buddha and Bhikkhu Sangha. Lord Buddha proclaimed Arhant Theri Mahapajapati Gautami as his first Bhikkhuni disciple, foremost in seniority. Kapilvastu is also greatly known, like besides Mahapajapati Gautami, initiated the lineage of Bhikkhuni Sangha with 500 others and established the foundation of fourfold Sangha. But beside her, Kapilvastu is also famous for lead Queen Mahamaya and Yashodhara Theri, leading towards Vaishali and connecting with this ancient site, how it is broadly known for the first Bhikkhuni ordination of Mahapajapati Gautami Theri and courageous 500 at Kudagarasara. And also noting that Vaisali was the place where Mahapajapati Gautami received arhantship at the age of 80 and also gained her parinibbana 40 years later. The pilgrimage diary of 5th and 8th century Chinese pilgrim monk Fangxian and Sungsan helped locate Mahapajapati Gautami Parinibbana Stupa in Birpur, which is also in the northern Parinibbana zone in Parinibbana landscape in Vaishali. From past 2 years, annual gathering has been held at this site to commemorate Mahapajapati Gautami's Parinibbana Day in February, usually after Magha Puja. Record shows existence of multiple Bhikkhuni monasteries in Vaisali in the ancient times. Not only just that, but also in Savatthi and Rajgiri, led by these 3 great Arhant Bhikkhunis, namely Mahapajapati Gautami Theri, Patachara Theri, Rahul Mada Yashodhara Theri, along with many other prominent Arhant Theris of that time. Therigatha shows the establishment of Bhikkhuni Sangha, and after establishment of Bhikkhuni Sangha, large number of Vaisali-born women from all walks of life begin to join the Sangha. Many attain awakening on practicing in accordance with Buddha's teaching. Some of them are like 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗺𝗺𝗃𝗃, 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃, 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗺𝗺𝗃𝗃, who also performed great miracle in Vaisali as per Chinese Tipitaka. From all vastes of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, we gather around at Varanasi, where Arhat Sundari Theri, dispassionate, abandoned her wealth like a lump of flake and went forth, soon becoming an Arhat while still an underage probationary novice, Sikhamana. This shows that beyond our age, women have that potential with that right guidance can quickly and anytime gain awakening. In Buddha's presence, she rode her Sihanada, lion's roar, proclaiming welcome verses, 𝗕𝗵𝗶𝗸𝗵𝗀𝗺, in which she declared herself the Buddha's daughter, born from his mouth, a Dhamma daughter. Arhat Theri Adha Kasi, which her name refers to half the wealth of all of Kasi, was also from Varanasi, her hometown. She was a beautiful courtesan from a rich family. Her shining example for all millennia shares that woman's value in Buddha's way is far more than skin deep. 7 prominent Arhat Theris with 2 famed leading Upasika share story cycle of the 7 sisters associated with Varanasi in the time of previous Buddha Kasapa. The 7 sisters were Arhat Theris Khema, Opalavana, Patachara, Bhadda Kundalakesa, Kisa Gotami, Dhammadina, and Maha Upasika Vishakha. Both Arhat Theri Sumedha and her friends Upasika Dhananjani were close friends to those 7 sisters above, showing that even in the past, long time back, the Bhikkhuni Sangha existed, and most of the foremost Arhat Theris were sisters in the past, powerful reminder of a sisterhood at the root of Bhikkhuni Sangha. As Bhikkhunis, they stood tall in themselves as in their sisterhood and kingship as Sangha. Heading towards Rajgriha, the next pilgrimage site. Here, in the caves of 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗺 Peak, we find many Bhikkhuni stories where they went for the day's abiding. The Paramatha Deepani very much includes the story and the presence of awakened Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Sangha together who used to practice at Rajgriha. Next among Khema is one of the prominent from Rajgriha, who was born and become Arhat in Rajgriha. One night, Sakka, king of Devas, came along with the follower Devas to pay homage to the Buddha. While they were with the Buddhas, Theri Khema, by her supernormal power, also came through the sky to pay homage to the Buddha and left. Sakka asked the Buddha who that bhikkhuni was, and the Buddha replied, "She is one of my preeminent disciples. She is known as Theri Khema. She is matchless amongst the bhikkhunis in wisdom." Bhadda Kundalakesi Theri. She was a former Jain nun who transformed after listening the Dhamma from Lord Buddha. Arhat Theri Bhadda Kundalakesi, foremost in the speed to gain awakening, also famously practiced Dhamma at 𝗕𝗺𝗃𝗃 Hills, and who, after hearing the teachings of the Buddha, gained insight and touched deathless. 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 in Rajgiri is not only famous for these eminent bhikkhunis, but there were many other prominent bhikkhuni sangha, arhantinis, who practiced there at 𝗕𝗺𝗃, namely Chitta Theri, Dantika Theri, Adhikasi Theri, Abhayamada Padmavati, Theri Sukha, Arhat Soma Theri, Subha Kamaradhita, Subha Jivam Bakavana. All these great theories were great teachers also during those times and had been said and believed to have a great followings of more than 500 or even 1,000 disciples who also were famous for their awakening stories. Heading on towards Savatthi, and the first image that comes is of Poparama Monastery, which was offered by Maha Upasika Vishakha with a joyful heart to the Lord Buddha and his retinue of monks and nuns. It was a magnificent 2-storied structure with a prayer and conference hall, fully furnished and well applianced for the comfort of the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Sangha. Poparama name comes from Purva Rama or Eastern Monastery because it is located on the east of the Jetavana in Savatthi. Noting that even the Maha Upasikas in the past times were great benefactors to the Sangha and have also helped in rising up of Bhikkhuni Sangha by providing them appropriate accommodation and needful support for rising. Shravasti has also another pregnant monastery named Rajakarama or Rajakara, which was built by King Pasenadi Kosala. Rajakarama literally translates to royal monastery or king's monastery. The Nandakas discourse Nandakovada Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 146, and Sahasra Sutta all were spoken at Rajakarama, where it said that 500s of the Bhikkhuni Sangha and thousands of nuns, which is Sahasra Bhikkhuni Sangha, gained awakening at different levels of awakening after hearing to the discourse, showing the great mass, great numbers of the Bhikkhunis in that time present in Shravasti. The Bhikkhuni disciple foremost in Vinaya, in the discipline of the mind, Theri Patachara, was also a great teacher from Shravasti. Having lost her family in a tragic incident, she lost insanity. But on association with pure Dhamma and on meeting Buddha, she quickly gained her sanity and listening to the Dhamma in no long time gained full awakening. From heedlessly wandering out of sorrow and grief on losing her family to being most restrained and diligent in discipline among Bhikkhuni disciples of Buddha, Patachara Theri was rightly earned praise from Buddha, Devas, and also people at more. At other instances, on hearing Dhamma verses and encouragement from Patachara Theri, a group of 30 Bhikkhunis became Arhantinis who later served as her students. And also on other times, there were 500 theories recorded in her own Theri Gatha, known how they listened to the Dhamma teachings from Patachara Theri and quickly, swiftly gained awakening. And all of them, all of the 500 were established in the supreme goal of awakening, taking refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Other pioneering Arhant Bhikkhunis from Shravasti includes Mutta Theri, Punya Theri, Sumana Theri, Dhamma Theri, Sumangala Mata Theri, Methika Theri, Uttama Theri, Ubiri Theri, Soma Theri, Sakula Theri, Theri Sona, Vijaya Theri, Arhant Bhikkhuni Kisa Gautami Theri, Chief Bhikkhuni disciples Arhant Theri Upalavanad, Arhant Bhikkhuni Punya Theri. All these pioneer Bhikkhuni who were not just very famous and known for the Dhamma teachings and their insights by practicing Vipassana, but there also were many instances where they taught many of the disciples, lay and both monastics, and gained and helped them established into the supreme goal of awakening. Arhant Theri Chapa Bhikkhuni also was from Shravasti. Not to mention Bhadakachana, also known as Rahula Mata, foremost in attain very deep knowledges, was also having a monastery in Shravasti and had led big groups, also famously known for having the depth of 6 knowledge or powers, including magic powers, Iti-Vidya, the divine ear, the knowledge of reading others' mind, recollection of former lives, the divine eye, and the extinction of the pollutants. With these great powers, Arhant Theri Bhadakachana has served the Sangha a long time. And at the age of 78, she entered Parinibbana in Savatthi, where the Buddha himself helped and built up the Parinibbana stupa for her. Also, Nalanda, known for Arhant Bhikkhuni's sisters of Venerable Bhante Sariputta from Nalanda, had shared deeply about their awakening and inspiring stories with the Mara in the Samyukta Nikaya. Saji, known for Venerable Bhikkhu Arhant Sariputta Bhante and Bhante Mahamoggallana Thero's place for holding relics, built by Ashok, the father of Arhant Theri Sanghamita and elder brother Mahinda Thero. Just connecting, fast forwarding, that they swiftly, after ordination, gained awakening and went to Sri Lanka to propagate Dhamma with the Bodhi tree saplings still established and living in Anuradhapura. Greatly revered for the effort that the Sanghamita Theri has put in and beautifully showcasing again that with the basic needful support, the world can be again full of awakened Bhikkhuni disciples of the Buddha. Making this as a pause, I would just like to bring my gratitude and dedication to Venerable Acharya Ayatatthaloka Theri for her visionary work and this opportunity to share this valuable information with you all today. Wishing you all 15th International Bhikkhuni Day and 2609th founding anniversary of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. May, with the rising of the needful support, may there be rise of awakened bhikkhunis walking up this path, this world again, and helping many others to rise up. Wishing peace and happiness for all. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you, Venerable. We wish that we have more time, but I think with many speakers, so we maybe after this, people can also look at the detail of the slide, yeah?
Yes,
so
Sai.
thank you very much for sharing, yeah, and recollecting back our connection with our foremost Venerable Bhikkhuni, Venerable Mahāvajrapati Gautami, and of course to the spread of the Buddha Dhamma and the Bhikkhuni Sangha to Sri Lanka. And we also see the revival of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in 1996, yeah, led
Yes.
by Venerable Kusuma Bhikkhuni with the other 10 Bhikkhunis. And today we have a very important sharing that having revived the 1996 Bhikkhuni ordination and also the development of Bhikkhuni Sangha after 28 years of striving to make the support, yeah, coming from a very important institution. As we know that the Sangha thrive with the support of the kings and the governments. And today we would like to invite Mr. Don De Silva from UK to share with us a very important, momentous waiting for 28 years. And the case was proposed, yeah, in the court for 12 years. And this year, we finally have the final approval and result for recognition legally in the Constitution, yeah. So we would like to introduce to you Mr. Don De Silva is a Buddhist counselor and mentor in University UK and International. He worked as a director with the United Nations Environment Program, and he is an active environmentalist, author, mentor, and mindfulness trainer. And one of his work published is Unleashing the Inner Potential, How Buddhism Empowers Personal and Social Change. So without further ado, we'd like to invite Mr. Don De Silva to also present to us a very important change in the Bhikkhuni world. And Mr. Don De Silva, the floor is yours. And for the sake of the time, if you can keep it 10 minutes, yeah? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Venerable Sumangala. Please time me so that you can warn me 9 minutes ahead, right, because I plan to be disciplined. Without further ado, thank you so much for inviting me for this August occasion. I'm going to share my screen. Right. This is a landmark ruling for the Buddhist world, a presentation concerning the Supreme Court of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka's recognition of Bhikkhuni identity. Why am I doing this? Because of my background. I'm not a lawyer, but I have been involved in dealing with and establishing environmental treaties between nations as part of my work with the United Nations Environment Program a long time ago. And also to point out to you that in the Sustainable Development Goals we are in now, Sustainable Development Goal 5 is on gender equality. This is dedicated to the most venerable Dr. Kalonave Kusuma, to my mind, the embodiment of leadership without office, impact without noise. She was instrumental in showing the way in how you spoke truth to power, and also how you changed the mindset of power. This Supreme Court judgment which was delivered on the 16th of June 2025, has a case number SCFR 218-2013, and you can download this judgment in full at the website of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. If you would like a copy and you can't get hold of it, please let me know. So, going straight to the point, petitioners, two of them, Venerable Velimada Dhammadinna Bhikkhuni, who sought recognition of her status as a bhikkhuni, an ordained nun, concerning her national identity card, because the government did not provide her with a national identity card identifying her as a bhikkhuni. And the second petitioner, Venerable Inamaluwe Sri Sumangala Thero, the Mahanayaka of the Rangiri Dambulla chapter, who supported the petition and leads the monastic order that performed the ordination. Both petitioners submitted their petition under Article 12 of the Sri Lankan Constitution. I'm going to go through this very quickly, but to give you the background to the Constitution. The respondents from the government side was the Commissioner General of the Department of Registration of Persons and the Commissioner General of the Department of Buddhist Affairs, argued that no system is in place for bhikkhunis under the Buddhist Temporalities Ordinance. And also Respondent 1, that's Commissioner General of the Department of Registration of Persons, denied issuing a national identity card using the title bhikkhuni and instead offered the term silmatha, which the petitioners rejected. The third respondent was the Honorable Attorney General of the Republic of Sri Lanka, who represented the state legal interest. Article 17 of the Constitution says, every person shall be entitled to apply to the Supreme Court as provided by Article 126. So here is the whole Article 126. I won't go to it in detail because time is short. The Supreme Court shall have the sole and executive jurisdiction to hear and determine any questions relating to the infringement or imminent infringement by the executive or administrative action. Where any person alleges that such a fundamental right or language right relating to such a person has been infringed, the person can bring this matter to the Supreme Court. Here are the other aspects of this article. I'm not going to summarize in short both these articles to say, if your basic right is violated by a government body, you can go straight to the Supreme Court for help. You must act quickly within 1 month. So, what were the arguments for and against Bhikkhuni Sasana and Buddha Nitya? Now, keep your focus a little bit on Buddha Nitya because I'm going to deal with this later on. So what were the objections from the highest prelates of the land in Sri Lanka? That's the Mahanayaka Theros. And these are from the leading Malwatu Asgiri Siam Amarapura Ramanya Nikayas, representing the highest Mahanayaka authority of the Buddha Sasana in Sri Lanka. They defended the case claiming that there are no legal or religious basis to recognize bhikkhunis on official identity documents and pointed to objections raised by the other Mahanayaka Theros in the country. The chief prelates or the Mahanayakas cited in the court documents made the following evidence, and I'm going to summarize these. The Bhikkhuni Sasana no longer exists in Sri Lanka. Any attempt by the state to recognize would be misleading and contrary to the Registration of Persons Act of Sri Lanka. The recognition of bhikkhunis would violate Buddha Nitya, which they described as Vinaya, meaning to be Buddhist law. And this was on the basis of a perception that Vinaya is akin to legal statutory law. Then they also submitted letters stating that were explicit that the inclusion of bhikkhuni in national identity cards would be, I quote, misleading and contrary to law. So what was the position of the petitioners? In contrast, the petitioners said that the revival of the Bhikkhuni order in 1998 under his chapter, that is the Rangiri Damulla chapter, was valid and done through the Upasampada ordination rites. That there are over 3,000 bhikkhunis residing in 237 monasteries affiliated with the Rangiri Damulla chapter. This revival is fully aligned with Buddhist law, and they separated this and made this separation to point out the Buddhist law, which is Vinaya and not a Nitya, and regarded de facto by lay communities and state institutions like passport and examination authorities. I'm quoting all these from the judgment. They also submitted letters from senior monks of the major Nikayas who acknowledged that the role of the bhikkhunis in education and examination contexts. These evidence was submitted in detail. And then they also rebutted and said some of the letters were claimed to be signed inadvertently, but no affidavits were filed to invalidate those recognitions. So, coming to the historic judgment by the Supreme Court. This judgment was made by 3 of the highest Supreme Court judges, including the Chief Justice. The court found that the Bhikkhuni Sasana had de facto been in existence since 1998, functioning openly with public recognition. The Supreme Court found that the first respondent, Commissioner of Registration of Persons, based a rejection on a policy requiring verification from the Department of Buddhist Affairs, an institution that does not register bhikkhunis, creating a discriminatory and arbitrary deadlock. Justice Amarasekara, who wrote the judgment, writing the majority opinion, said that refusing to grant the title bhikkhuni on the national identity cards when male monastics are freely recognized as bhikkhus was a violation of fundamental rights under Article 12. So the Chief Justice, the Lady Chief Justice Murdu Fernando, concurred with his submission. One of the Chief Justices, Mahinda Samayavardhana, dissented and arguing that the matter was ecclesiastical and outside the court's domain. The judgment was carried. The final outcome: identity cards to be issued recognized the first petitioner as a bhikkhuni. I repeat, the identity card to be issued recognizing the first petitioner as a bhikkhuni. And then the second ruling, allowed with costs. So this legal case has been in existence for 12 years. So the Supreme Court ruled that the state must pay the petitioner's legal expenses. And the third, recognition of the Bhikkhuni Sangha as an active, protected religious order under the Sri Lankan constitution. Just a note on the Buddha Nitya versus Vinaya. There appears to be in this confusion between the Buddha Nitya as aligning it with the statutory law of the state, when there is clearly in the Vinaya, which talks about the rules of discipline. Unfortunately, some of the English translations of the Vinaya translate it as monastic law, and maybe this is one of the reasons why that in turn has been probably taken into account in the Sinhala side when it has been morphed into monastic law.
Mr. Don,
Yeah.
1 more minute to wrap up.
I'm coming.
Thank
So
you.
the petition was entrusted to the scale of a wonderful, distinguished legal team. The President's Council, Navin Marapana, Nandapala Vikramasuriya, Taranta Palya Guruge, Uchita Vikramasinghe, instructed by Ishani Palya Guruge. This petition and the legal team navigated a terrain which few dared to enter in Sri Lanka, where constitutional law, integrity, and discipline of the Buddha Dhamma and the lineage intersect. Over 12 years, they stood firm, and their success was ensured that the bhikkhunis in Sri Lanka may be recognized in civil systems, from passports, from identity cards to passports, education, temple registration under their rightful titles. The judgment of the Supreme Court on 16th of June in favor of recognizing the Bhikkhuni Sasana was not won through headlines, preserving or pressure campaigns or political lobbying. It was the outcome of persistent discipline, expertise, moral clarity, sustained over decades by two courageous petitioners and a very dedicated legal team. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Bhikkhuni Sanghaya. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Don De Silva, for a very, very important milestone that all of us may not be aware of. Yeah, and today, celebration the International Bhikkhuni Day. We now know that it is a very important institution that even bhikkhuni or bhikkhu or for the laity to know that the legal institution is also very important in preserving the Buddha Sasana. So today we are very, very clear that this has been unlocked, since 28 years ago. And now the Bhikkhuni Sasana can thrive without the indication of they are not recognized. They are fully recognized by the Constitution. And we hope with this breakthrough that the Bhikkhuni will continue to flourish. Yeah? And again, thank you, Mr. Don, for very kindly, in a very short time, to present this sharply for all to understand that we should be confident that the Bhikkhuni are actually recognized and is protected by the Constitution. So I think with a very skilled development and with the knowledge, and also I like the way Mr. Don said, leadership without office. I would say leadership without noise, but very helpful in practice. And I think that brings about the confidence for the Bhikkhuni to continue to thrive and to benefit more people. And thank you again, Mr. Don. And now we should proceed and to understand that this is a shared responsibility by everyone, and the support for Bhikkhuni Sangha is the responsibility of the entire Fourfold Assembly, and also protected by our constitution. And just we honor the lineage of Arhan Bhikkhus, so too must we safeguard the path for present and future generations of Bhikkhunis. Let us ask ourselves, are we providing enough support, opportunities, and recognition for our Bhikkhunis to thrive? Are we helping maintain a just and inclusive Dharma environment where liberation is equally accessible? Because when we support the Bhikkhuni Sangha, we are not just supporting women. We are supporting the continuity of the Buddha's vision, the vitality of the Dhamma, and the balanced propagation of the Sasana in every direction. Tonight, we also like to not only highlight the history, but to make history live again. And we'd like to invite Mr. Deepak Anand to share with us a program that we wish to materialize in December 2025, the Dhamma Yatra in the footsteps of Mahapajapati Gautami Mahateri. So Mr. Deepak Anand is known here for tracing the footsteps of the Buddha and also Xuanzang. And Mr. Anand is a scholar and journalist and taking his time to really on foot to discover all these places. And so this would be a beginning of a new era of how we trace back more and more the footsteps of the Bhikkhunis, early Bhikkhunis, and how it can inspire us to continue to develop all the good qualities towards liberation. So Mr. Anand, may you take the floor, please?
Thank you, Venerable. Greetings to all and happy Bhikkhuni Day to all Venerable nuns. So basically, we discussed about this a few days back. And again, so this is basically, as Sister has just mentioned, we are planning for this. Can you share the screen? Yeah. So thank you, Sister, for this opportunity. So there was a discussion going on for last 2-3 years to revive this trail of Mahapajapati Gautami, her renunciation trail. So I need not go through the story of Mahapajapati Gautami and her renunciation. All of us are very much aware of it. So this year, this is the trail of renunciation trail of Mahapajapati Gautami and 500 sister nuns, Shakyan women who walked with Mahapajapati Gautami, and finally, after walking 300 kilometers, they arrived Vaishali, and there they met Buddha, and after some efforts, finally Bhikkhuni Sangha was established. So we are going to commemorate this historic journey. So we are not going to walk the entire 300 kilometers. We are going to do ceremonial walks at important places. Like this is going to be a 6-day event. 6-day proper event from Kapilavastu to Vaishali. And about 100 kilometers of this trail is in Nepal. So first 3 days we will be in Nepal, and last 3 days, 4th, 5th and 6th day we will be in India. So we would be touching the important places which are part of this trail of Mahapajapati Gautami. Actually, this is the same trail. This is the ancient route which even Buddha walked in his renunciation. So this is the renunciation trail of Buddha also. So it was an ancient trade route. And there are lots of stupas and Ashokan pillar on this ancient trail. And this trail is running parallel to the river Gandaki, which is like ancient Anoma. So this event is planned for 18th December to 24th December. And people who want to start from Bodh Gaya, so we would be starting from Bodh Gaya on 15th. So people who want to start from Bodh Gaya, so it is a 10-day package. And we have and we have calculated the cost, and it is coming something around $1,000 for every participant. So we are hoping for 108 participants in this historic revival. So we are hoping for 100 plus bhikkhunis and lay followers, upasikas and volunteers to participate in this walk. So as I mentioned, that we are hoping, we have made an estimate and it's coming something around $1,000 per participant. So these are the few sites which we would be covering in this 6 days. This is the eastern gate of 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀 Palace City. So we would be doing the first day, inaugural day, we will be having event here at 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀. Second day, we will be having event at Lumbini, the place where Buddha was born. And third day, we would be spending time at Ramagrama. And from here, we would be, second half, we would be going to Anuma River. It's like, 30 kilometers from Ramagrama. And we are just checking with the local people because we don't have a very good road from Ramagrama to Anuma Ghat. But let's see, we have a plan for this. And hopefully we would be able to do this. On fourth day, we will be entering India and we would be spending our fourth day at Anupiya, ancient Anupiya, which is present day Valmiki Nagar. So this is the place where Buddha cut his hair and he sent back Chandaka. So there are some ancient remains here. So we will be having some ceremonial functions here, ceremonial walk here. And fifth day, we will be traveling from Valmiki Nagar to Vaishali. And on the way, we would be touching Nandangarh Stupa, Kesaria, and Lauria, Ariraj. So these are all places on the route. And on the final day, sixth day, we would be having a very busy schedule on that day because we want to touch two places. The first place is where bhikkhunis were ordained. That is Kutagrashala. So we do not have a correct identification, but there are ancient remains in the village Bhakra. So this is village Bhakra. And there are some ancient remains. And one of these mound or stupa represents the site of Kutagrasala. So we would be doing ceremonial walk in this village. And in the second half, we would be doing ceremonial event and valedictory event at this place, which is Birpur. As Sister Ravera was mentioning about, the site where Mahaprajapati Gautami and 500 Shakyas, they attained the Parinibbana. So this is the site. And this is, we are not sure about exactly this mound, but this place, according to Xuanzang, is the place where Mahaprajapati Gautami attained Parinibbana. So we would be having valedictory at this place. So this is the schedule for 6 days. And this is the plan. This is all I have to say. I'm sure if Vamgo is there, Vamgo, if you want to share something about this event.
Good morning, everyone. I just would like to share with you that going on pilgrimage, which is something we've been doing for many years in India, to pay respect to the motherland where it all began, is a very spiritual experience. And so we hope that by establishing the first walk like this together, we can connect to the sacred sites itself and to listen from the Venerable Bhikkhunis each place to have special Dhamma discussions on the meaning of the Dhamma according to what we can gain from the wisdom of the Venerable Bhikkhunis. So I just would like to encourage and share from my own experience that this has been truly a very meaningful way to connect to the holy places, and I hope that some of you can join. Actually, I think the cost is a little under 1,000. It's around 839, but maybe there's the other aspects that Deepak has considered. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us in some way. Thank you again, and it's really quite special to be in this space to hear from all of you. I've learned so much today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Dipak Anand, and also Sister Wangmo Dixie, for your sharing. And definitely that we can see that even during the Buddhist time, as mentioned, when we travel to the Buddha's holy site and to all these Arahants' holy sites, it will definitely bring us more inspiration and faith. So we invite international bhikkhunis and also the ladies to come to join this Dhamma Yatra in December, starting from 18 December, and for 7 days. And so that together we can relive the glory of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, and for us to be able to continue to take this inspiration and liberation for the well-being, happiness, and benefit of the many. So thank you all so much again. And now as we come to the end of this session, so Venerable Bhikkhunis and also Bhikkhus and respected Dhamma teachers, distinguished guests, devoted lay supporters, and Dhamma friends from near and far. As today we have come together on this celebration of the 15th Bhikkhuni, International Bhikkhuni Day, let us open our minds and hearts to the richness of the Bhikkhuni heritage. May this day be one of reflection, dialogue, inspiration, and most of all, renewed commitment to walk the path together in mutual respect and spiritual unity. May the Bhikkhuni Sangha grow in strength. May all beings benefit from their presence. May the Buddha Sasana shine brightly, balanced, complete, and whole. So we thank all the speakers and from Venerable Santini Terry from Indonesia, Venerable Lupap from Vietnam, Venerable Dhammananda from Thailand, Venerable Dicita from Australia, Venerable Mangala, Malaysia, Venerable Dhammadina from India, Venerable Avira from India, Mr. Don De Silva from UK, and Mr. Deepak Anand from India. And we also thank our spiritual advisor, Venerable P. Sivali Mahatero, and all others that have been with us for these 2.5 hours. And we also thank the technical team from Viêng Cong Nunnery, Vietnam, for kindly host and also kindly manage the technical side of this program. And now, in completion of this celebration, we'd like to invite Venerable Liu Pap for the closing of this auspicious gathering.
Namo Buddhaya. To end our program today, I would like to be on behalf of the UTBSI to pray to the Buddha, to give blessing to all the bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, upasakas, upasikas who are present in this Zoom meeting. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful. And now, all together, we recite this Paligatha. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba bhutanupavena sada soti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba dhammanupavena sada soti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba sankhanupavena sada soti bhavantu te. Agasattha ca Bhummatha Devanaga Mahitika Punyang no anumodantu Chirang rakhantu sasanang. Agasattha ca Bhummatha Devanaga Mahitika Punyang no anumodantu Chirang rakhantu no garu. Agasattha ca Bhummatha Devanaga Mahitika Punyang no anumodantu Chirang rakhantu nyatayo. Agasattha ca Bhummatha Devanaga Mahitika Punyang no anumodantu Chirang rakhantu panino. Agasattha ca Bhummatha Devanaga Mahitika Punyang no anumodantu Chirang rakhantu no sada. Idang no nya tinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. idang no nya tinang hotu sukhita hontu nya tayo. Idang no nya tinang hotu sukhita hontu nya tayo. Idang me punyang asavakaya bahang hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much for your presentation and your participation today. And good night. See you again next time. Thank you so much.